Hey guys, thank you for checking out our video. My name's Sean Elders and this is Pinnacle Combat Arts. Like, subscribe, comment down below, hit the bell so you can be notified every time we get a new video. Today we're going to be talking about disarms, some of the aspects of what disarms are and what is really happening with these disarms and the techniques that you're being taught. Let's get started. One of the things that I think is very important is that the best disarm is the one where you're not involved. That's the best disarm. The best disarm is the one where you're able to just take, if you have a blade or some object that could cause pain, which could knock that knife out of the hand, that's the best kind of disarm. That's always going to be the best disarm than to actually be engaged. But sometimes what happens is when there's a high level of pressure that goes on between you and this other person, and they're trying to kill you with this knife, they're trying to hurt you, that the disarms, the way that I was trained and taught was differently than what I think most of the public is being taught nowadays. It's more of a flashier concept. But what are these disarms? And so a lot of people, they'll see these disarms, the sets, in different numbering systems. Okay, and so for instance, let me show you one of the numbering systems. Numbering system like this: you go 1, and then you go to this one, you go 2, and then you go here, and you're up here, and you go into the number 3, and then you go back to this position, you're number 4, and then we switch hands, which would happen technically like this, and then I would come in here, and this would be the number 5. See that? And then number 6 is here, and the number 7's there. And then if I pass this position, this is number 8, this is number 9, and that's number 10, and I swing it out this way, and I'm crashing the face, and I'm going down on the arm, and I'm going in here, this is number 11, and you come to this position, and this is number 12. You will see this kind of stuff. These are flow exercises to help you understand, one, to get the basics of understanding of the positions themselves, get familiar with them. The other part is that sometimes you'll be in a struggle with somebody. That's the key word, struggle. One will not work because they countered you, or they're too strong, or the position is not right, so you move to the next one. It's very similar to flow locks, okay, even in the ground or standing up, whatever. But the idea is that you have to be able to, and you need to understand that the disarms themselves are not usually going to be out here. You see how much distance there is right here? That's not how a knife situation is going to be, okay? There's so much more pressure that's involved. They're not going to stay out here unless they are still trying to swing the knife, okay? The situation is going to be more, she's pressing up against me. Now we're talking, okay? Because she's going to try to get me up against a wall or a car or whatever. Now we're in this position here. Now this is the disarm. This is what the disarm looks like. And so, for instance, for my number 1 disarm, I would be peeling like this as I do that, but I'm going against her other hand. So how do I get out of that? I headbutt her and I bring her into this position, and now I'm in this position, but I'm only going to be in this position for a short period of time. Why? Because she's going to throw a punch and punch me in the head, and I've got to get here and see, now I'm in this position here, you see? So that's the thing that you need to understand. And so this doesn't work for some reason, okay? She puts her hand behind the blade on the other side and she tries to stop me like this, see that? And that's when I go to the Duma, one here, and I pick her chin up, and I'm driving that, and she stops me. Oh, she got me, right? So I cut it again, and I come here, and I peel it. I try to peel it. So there's all these different positions that you need to understand. And a lot of times what it's going to look like is it's going to be like if I'm up against a wall. Let's say I'm up against a wall, and I'm here. This is what it's looking like, okay? And so this is the number 1, and she's trying to point the blade, and so my strength is this. If she's got this knife and she's trying to drive this into my chest, my hand comes up over my forearm and I turn that up like this. Now look, I just changed the game for me. This is dangerous. Look, if my hand's on the top and she's pushing, I'm going to have a lot of trouble. And whoever's stronger is, and whoever can maneuver. So this is where the number 1 disarm, for instance, I bring my hand here. Now I fulcrum this up. I bring this actually close to my body. If I keep it out here, guess what? Whoever's stronger, whoever maneuvers better wins. But if I bring it up here, now I've got a fulcrum, and I turn that blade, now I'm turning it back to her like this. You see? And what she's going to do, she's going to put her hand in front of that blade like that, and then we're struggling like this, and that's where this would come in, bam, and then turn here, and I go, look where I'm at. You see that? Now I'm in this more vulnerable or better position for me, but guess what? It can't be too good because look, she can punch me. So then I've got to turn this elbow up, and then this is where you see this technique being done a lot of times is this, okay? And so you have this, all these parts come in, okay? So I'm in this position here. Now I'm like this, and I go here, and that's where this comes into this position right here. So the thing that you need to understand is that when you first do these disarms and the teacher's showing you, they're showing you the fundamentals, okay? And it's a building block structure, because the understanding is, how do I, if she starts shanking at me, I've got to get into this type of position here and bring the blade up against me and get into this position. But how do I disarm this? Once I'm in this position, I've got to, and I've got to make sure that I'm giving her the high level, and I'm not going to get into my shanking material, okay? But I'm showing you, trying to help you understand that if I'm in this position, I've got to figure out, how am I going to go get my hand. If I'm here, I need to know where my strengths are, okay? And that's where these disarms come into play. I need to know what the structure is, because if I get my hand like this, for instance, she pushes, okay, this isn't good for me anymore. So I can, if I turn, now we're doing this. See that? And I can try to maneuver this somehow. Maybe I can go here. She stops me, and I cut her hand at the same time as I go here. But if I keep my hand way out here, you don't have any strength, but you close here, look, oh, and I use this. Now she can throw and punch me in the head, bam, like this. But if I torque that and turn this up, now I've got a structure and she's trying to punch me, okay? And so there's all these little things that I want you to start to think about. And I'm not gonna show you all, I'm giving you guys things that I want you to take back, because I know I get messages from you guys from all over the world. It's beautiful. And I want to shout out to all you guys, man. Awesome. Guys and girls. Awesome. That you guys are watching my videos and you're like, oh, thank you so much for showing us this stuff. You're filling in a lot of holes. There's a lot of holes to be filled. And what I mean by that is that, sadly, in combatives, and I don't even want to say just Filipino martial arts, it's in combatives itself, because some of the stuff that I'm teaching you, its foundation, its fundamentals came from the Filipino martial arts, but it's been developed and derived beyond that in operations and operative situations from different parts of the United States and also other countries as well. Because my background is different than most people's, because my stepfather was the first person who taught me a large amount of this material, and it was based on real stuff that happened recently in time. Instead of it being from the 30s or the 40s, it happened during the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, that kind of thing. And so him being in operatives and operations, his ability to translate that to me and go, well, this is what they teach you in class, but this is what actually it is. I always say it's the meat and potatoes of what is taught in the Philippines. And it's taught some things that has maybe been lost because either a student hasn't gone that far into the advanced aspects of the Filipino martial arts, or that those parts have just been lost over time. I don't know, but I don't see it in any of even the advanced classes at a lot of these Filipino martial arts schools, and it's okay, and it's all right. They may know it, they may not, I don't know. But what I'm trying to do is I want to help people that are getting their information and training with these different masters that are amazing and awesome, and I love them, and I support them and all that. But there are definitely things that I can help guide you guys down a road that I don't see anybody doing, and I want to help you guys do that. And so yeah, so that's what this is all about. A lot of these disarms and things like that are all inside of a struggle. That's the whole thing. They're in a struggle, and I'm going, well, what's my strength here? My strength is being able to create a structure, okay, and get that disarm. Oh, look, I cut that hand maybe. But see, she's going to come back and she's going to push here. She's going to strike and she's going to try to grapple with me. And so I have to know where, instead of her going like this and I'm fighting, I'm going, oh, I don't know what to do. I need to know that I can either bring my hand in this side, okay, and get that blade away from me and bring it close to me, because if I bring it farther away from me, guess what? My strength isn't as strong. But if I create a structure and now look, the blade's pointing away from me. You see that? Then I could peel the disarm out, maybe. Notice I said maybe, because everything has to be battle tested. And I know, because the way that I was trained were in modules, and those modules were like, the third day is like hell on earth, and they're testing and being pushed and beyond, and you're you know, and I started when I was like 13 years old, and this is a grown man, you know, he's like trying to shove this blade, you know, of course it wasn't a real blade, but it was, and I'm like, and I'm fighting, and I'm going, you know, and I had to learn what was the strong position to that and what was the weak part of that. And so even like in this, you have a number 2 disarm if you're looking at the Inisano material, or an 8 disarm like this. Notice I have this hand in front of that. You don't see that done. It's all like this beautiful thing, which is wonderful. And I like to see, you know, these nice flashy things, and it's great. But in reality, when I'm in this position and she's trying to push this into me, either she's going back and forth like that, which I'm not going to be able to hold on to very well. It's not going to be real. But if she's pushing and we're struggling, she's against my body like this, how am I going to get out of that? You know, and so I could either go, and if I've got my left hand here, I can turn that out and see, look, now I've got more leverage here, you see? And if she swings the blade up like this, I can turn that over and get that 9 maybe, okay? And if she turns it up even more, then look, oh, I've got a leverage here. I'll show you from this angle. I've got a leverage, okay, off of number 10. See that? That 10 disarm right here. And so that's the whole idea, you see. If she comes out and she thrusts this blade this way, and then I get a hold of that puño right here, and I'm putting the flat part of the blade against my forearm. Look, I've got a leverage here, okay? And of course, if she tries to stop me by either punching me, or she could put her hand there and try to stop me from doing that, now what am I gonna do? I can swing it out, see that? And see, I can swing it out, and then I gotta deal with that punch or whatever, and then she checks me, or I go here, she checks me there, and I punch her in the face a couple times like this. And look, there's that 12 here. And it's just teaching you these different fulcrum points, okay? They're teaching you these different fulcrum points from here. So like even in this position here, you probably have problems seeing it, okay? If I'm in this position and the blade, if she's around me like this, and I'm going like this, I'm like, oh man, I'm struggling like this, okay? And I get that blade and I go, oh, here we go. I can get it from there. You see that? Okay? And I'm peeling it out. See that? I don't want to hurt her. But see that? And then see these are all different positions, because it's not always going to be, give me a number 2. See? Boom, I stop it and come here and go, ooh, and it's going to be way out here. Sometimes, yeah, you'll get lucky. You'll disarm that knife and it goes flying, okay? And you're doing all your movements, and you're real fast, and throwing your punches and all this stuff, and you get going. Okay, but that's not always the reality of it, okay? And so what I want you guys to do is take your disarm and practice it from a more higher pressure. You know, when she comes in like this, she just comes in and, you know, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm like in this position here, and I've turned this out, and look, I got that number 8. You see that? That number 8, or here, see like this, or if I got this and I go here, look, oh, you know, I'm in this position and she's trying to punch me, and, you know, you should put headgear on, just punch each other in the head, you know, within safety. But you get yourself this concept of what you got to go beyond just doing the flashy, you know. Anybody can go like this, you know, I'm going like this, and I go like that, and I disarm it, and then, you know, here, and I go here, boom, you know, whatever, and whatever it is. You can do all that, okay? It looks all fine and good. But guess what? When somebody's contesting your movements, it's a different story. Hope you guys like it. I'll see you next time. Go to our website, pinnaclecombatarts.com. There you can find out more about what I do and the classes that I provide. Thank you guys so much for your support, and have a great day.